Sarah's all right, but her mum talks to me as if she feels sorry for me, and she keeps on about me going to school. I'd rather go to Jane and Donald's and see what you're going to paint, Mum." She felt angry tears threatening. "It's not fair. I want to go to St. Ives." "Millie, love, you sound just like a toddler, not a child of 14, said Nanette, reaching for her cigarettes on the dresser. "Life isn't fair. It's tough. I know that as much as anyone." As she stretched up for her matches, as if to emphasize her words, her sleeve fell back, showing an old, deep scar on the pale skin of her forearm. "If you don't want to go to Sarah's, you can stay here and amuse yourself, just so me and Dad can have a precious day together." "But you have lots of days together. Are they more precious if I'm not there? It's as if you don't want me. As if you prefer me not to be here. I bet you wish I'd never been born." "And now you're being silly," said Harry. "Where did you learn to put on the drama? From your mother, I bet?" He turned to wink at Nanette to show he was trying to jolly Millie out of her mood. "Don't be mean," said Nanette, giving his arm a gentle slap as she passed him. "Right, I'm going to get ready." She left, trailing cigarette smoke and leaving the kitchen door open. "And I'm going to gather my painting things. Do you want to help me, Millie?" "No." "Suit yourself." "If I suited myself, I'd be coming with you." "Darling, it's not all about you all the time," said Harry, and he headed off to look out some paints and canvases from the big light room where he and Nanette worked. It was very large and could accommodate both without any cause for them to argue about their own spaces, even though they frequently did. Millie got up only to slam the kitchen door as hard as she could behind her father. She listened, but there was no reaction to this. It was as if her parents were already mentally on their way and unbothered by her anger at being left behind. "I hate you!" she yelled, as loudly as she could. "I wish you were dead!" The sound of the car engine faded. They were gone, with hugs and kisses, as if they minded that she was not going too, as if they hadn't excluded her on purpose. "Millie, love, you have a lovely day. Maybe go and see Max if you don't want to go to Sarah's," Nanette had said with a big smile as she arranged her coat around her in the passenger seat. Her dark curls were tied back with a jolly red and white spotted scarf, the red the exact same shade as her lipstick. She looked gorgeous. "We'll see you later." "Yes, yes, off you go," Millie had snapped. "And don't hurry back," she'd added viciously. Now she put on her coat and went to let the half-dozen pert little hens out into the garden, then, shoulders hunched, mooched over to see if there were any eggs in the nesting boxes. There weren't. She knew there were things to eat in the pantry, but she was in the mood to feel she had been left to starve now there were no eggs. Then she wandered around the garden in the wet grass, kicking the decayed remains of fallen apples and stoking the fire of her resentment at being left behind. Again. Eventually she went down the lane to see Mags, an old lady who was a potter. But Mag's cottage was silent, and there was a pencilled note stuck with a drawing pin to the door. Easy enough for Millie to read. "Daisy, I'll be back by 4. Who was Daisy? Millie felt excluded again. Perhaps she should go to Sarah's after all. But by now she was too fed up to want company. She would stay here by herself. She'd go and occupy her parents' studio and paint a really big picture on one of their canvases, using a lot of their paint and making a huge mess. That would serve them right for abandoning her. In the studio, she lavishly squeezed paint from several tubes onto a palette, then set a large blank canvas on her father's easel, first removing a half-finished painting of her mother that he was working on and propping it against the wall. She'd start with images of her parents, Mum all pretty with a